Okay, so you want 100% proof Jesus is not God. It's James chapter 1 verse 13. James chapter 1 verse 13 and Hebrews chapter 4 verse 15 says, for God cannot be tempted. James 1:13 says, for God cannot be tempted by evil. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 15 says, for we do not have high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weakness, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet we are without sins. So, if you read the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, Matthew 4, I believe, in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus was tempted by Satan in the wilderness. Now, the Bible never says that Jesus' human nature was tempted. It says Jesus was tempted. Nowhere in the New Testament does it say part of Jesus was tempted. It says all of Jesus was tempted. So, 100% Jesus was 100% tempted. If Jesus is God, then there's a clear contradiction. At best, there's a clear contradiction. But I think James chapter 1 verse 13 is proof Jesus is not God, because it says, for God cannot be tempted by evil. We know that all of Jesus was tempted by evil, was tempted by Satan, was tempted by evil. And we all know, Satan is evil. So Jesus cannot be God, given the rules of James chapter 1 verse 13 and Hebrews chapter 4 verse 15, where it says that God cannot be tempted by evil, or cannot be tempted by Satan. We know that Jesus was tempted, in the Gospel of Matthew and Luke by Satan. If you read the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, we know that Jesus was tempted by Satan. So James 1:13 proves that Jesus cannot be God, because Jesus was tempted by Satan and evil, and we know, according to the book of James, that God cannot be tempted by evil. If God cannot be tempted by evil, yet Jesus was tempted every way that we humans are, then Jesus cannot be God, given the rules of James, given the ruling of James chapter 1 verse 13 and Hebrews chapter 4 verse 15. So Jesus is not God because he was tempted in every way like we are by evil.